This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us. Haley is on assignment this evening. Topping our news tonight, new details about why Feld Entertainment decided to shut down Ringling Brothers and Barnum & Bailey Circus. After nearly 150 years in show business, Feld says the greatest show on earth will come to an end in just a few months. ABC7's Kate Flexter was at Feld's headquarters in Manatee County when the company made that official announcement. She joins us now live with more on what happens next. Kate?
Good evening, Scott. John Ringling's legacy can be felt all around town, from the Ringling Museum to the Ringling Bridge to this circus Ring of Fame. And for that reason, many locally were devastated by the news.
Welcome to the greatest show on earth!
For more than a century, the Ringling Brothers and Barnum & Bailey Circus went by the self-proclaimed title, the greatest show on earth. And few dispute its truth.
There was no show to work for like Ringling Brothers because it truly is the greatest show on earth.
That made the news of the show shutting down all the more surprising for people like Aaron Watkins, who toured with the circus as a clown for about 5 years.
I was shocked. I think everyone I know was shocked. Once you get to 145 years old, you think, oh, okay, it's going to be around forever, but they only made it to 146 years, unfortunately.
Parent company Feld Entertainment made the announcement Monday, attributing the decision to a sharp decline in ticket sales, which dropped even more when the company retired the iconic elephants, following accusations of animal cruelty.
The percentage drop was much more severe than what we anticipated, and that's what ultimately led to this difficult decision.
That decline, coupled with the high operating cost, made it an unsustainable business model. The decision affects the more than 400 people who work for the circus.
We will be working with all of our people, including performers, to help them transition to other opportunities.
For Watkins and many others, it's the end of an era.
You'll never be able to afford to get that many creative people together again to match the grandeur of the greatest show on earth. And that doesn't mean that circus is dead, but the great American circus, probably this is the death blow to it.
But Feld insists the circus's legacy lives on.
Live entertainment is not going away. The legacy of Ringling Brothers will exist in that it has infused all other live entertainment.
If you're interested in checking out that final tour, it will be in Tampa next week. Live in Sarasota, Kate Flexter, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Kate, thank you. Besides the circus, Feld Entertainment puts on all types of live shows, including Marvel Universal Live, Monster Jam, Monster Energy Supercross, Disney on Ice, among many others. Now, circus performers across the world and here on the Suncoast have mixed feelings about the Ringling Circus's demise. One of the most well-known performers, Sarasota's Bello Knock. Aside from his signature foot-tall red hair, Knock is known for his legendary stunts, such as the Inflatable Man, Trampoline Act, and the Big Apple Circus. Knock joined Ringling Brothers in 2001 as their headliner, and he calls the end of the Ringling Circus disappointing news, but he believes the show will go on.
There are still a lot of people that want to see circus. Circus existed long before Ringling was around, and it'll exist long after. So there are people like me and this young generation that are looking towards the future and go, yes, yesterday's news is very sad. You know what I'm doing? I'm looking to the future, and how do we continue to inspire young kids?
Time magazine named Bello America's Best Clown in 2001. He traces his circus family lineage all the way back to 1775. And Knock isn't alone in believing the show will go on. Seventh-generation circus performer Nick Wallenda says he and many other entertainers will help keep the circus magic alive. Representatives from the Sailor Circus, which is known as the oldest youth circus in the country and the greatest little show on earth, tells us they will continue doing what they do best. Wallenda says technology is now an essential part of the circus, and it's important to adapt to the changes the industry has experienced in recent years.
My goal is to create a show that will tour around the United States that will incorporate YouTube sensations. You know, these people that have 50 and 60 million views, those are the people that need to headline the show alongside of me.
Circus Sarasota, headlined by Nick Wallenda, is scheduled to get underway near the UTC Mall on February 10th. Also, the Sailor Circus will have its next performance at the Circus Arts Conservatory Arena in Sarasota this April. Hundreds of people are sharing their feelings about the end of the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey circus shows on ABC7's Facebook page. Here's just a few of the comments. Pam says, "Sad news, this was a special childhood memory." Cindy writes, "The circus was a huge part of the past, and they've been trying to make it come back. It will forever be part of our history." Wendy writes, "I'm happy for the animals, but have fond memories of watching them walk from the train to their winter home in Sarasota." And Kathy says, "Circuses were magical, but not simply because of the animals. Everyone wanted to run away to the circus because it was just so exciting." If you'd like to join the conversation, you can go to our Facebook page. Time now to get a check on our weather. A few clouds around today, but certainly pleasant temperatures here on the Suncoast. Here's Bob with more.
Once again, Scott, temperatures well above seasonal averages here up and down the coast. Currently, we do have a few clouds around, but generally sunny skies at the airport. 77 degrees, winds out of the east-southeast. At 13, the pressure is still very high, 30-21. That continues to hold steady for the most part. High pressure just off the coast again of the Carolinas is dominating our weather with that east to southeasterly wind. But what it is doing is bringing that warm, moist air overriding the colder air to the north, causing all sorts of headaches with ice, and ice storms continue to be a big problem in the upper Mississippi Valley right now. But for us, a few showers down south of Fort Myers. That's about it. A sprinkle or two. Not out of the question through this evening, but that'll be very widely scattered. The forecast for the evening calling for temperatures to stay warm, Scott, right through the 11 o'clock hour into the mid-60s. We'll have more on some showers that may be coming back into the weather picture a little bit later in this newscast. Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you. Now to a developing story in South Florida. An MLK Day celebration turns violent after 3 people were shot in Miami. According to the ABC affiliate in Miami, 1 woman was shot near the Martin Luther King Jr. Park. A short time later, 2 others were shot. Witnesses say when the gunfire began, people just scattered for cover. Police are still looking for the shooter. And today, the entire nation is honoring the late Martin Luther King Jr. with a federal holiday. The civil rights icon was killed by an assassin in 1968. President Ronald Reagan signed the holiday into law in 1983. President Obama today is encouraging Americans to observe the federal holiday by taking part in a service project. And as the nation pauses to remember and honor the civil rights leader, here on the Suncoast, the activities began early this morning with the annual MLK Community Breakfast at the Robert L. Taylor Community Center in Sarasota. Dozens of pastors, educators, and Sarasota officials attended, including Sarasota Mayor Willie Shaw. Ceremony started with the National Black Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing, followed by breakfast. 12th Circuit Court Chief Judge Charles Williams gave an inspirational keynote speech. Event attendees say the breakfast is not only to honor Dr. King's legacy, but all the contributions made locally.
When we look at the attributes and the contribution Sarasota has made to the overall movement, then we understand that we are as inclusive and as much a part of this movement as has been anyone else.
Also, let's see, the breakfast ended with awards being given to those in the community that are keeping Dr. King's dream of service and equality alive, and I was honored to co-MC the event with Hank Batty. After the breakfast, a group marched to nearby Martin Luther King Park in the Newtown community for a day-long celebration. ABC7's Bobeth Yates joins us live from that park tonight with more on what happened today. Bobeth?
Yes, the breakfast ended with the Unity Walk that took folks down MLK all the way to Martin Luther King Jr. Park right here behind me for a block party. Now, the activity's been going on all day and it continues right now with not as much people out, but again, the continuing. Now, those activities included everything from food, lots of fun activities for kids, and of course, music. Now, while the community gathered to celebrate the legacy of Dr. King, many say this year's event are even more important, citing race relations and the overall mood of the country for the need.
Because of the current times and the environment, I think it's more important that we all come together now than it has been in a long time.
For the next 4 years, we're going to have some struggles, but I think that is going to be the key, is unity and solidarity.
Now, the block party will continue for about an hour or so, but up and down the Suncoast today, there were many other celebrations. Coming up at 6, we'll show you a little bit about what they did in Bradenton and how they paid tribute to this civil rights legend. Back to you.
All right, Bobette, thank you. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, storms leaving large portions of the country in dangerous conditions where the snow and ice is moving next. And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back. He'll have our full weather forecast right here on the Suncoast. And then later in Health Smart, the short and long-term effects of having teenagers go through gastric bypass surgery.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
We love local products here on the Suncoast. I'm Stephanie Roberts. On Suncoast View, we'll highlight the best entrepreneurs in our area and learn what products that you might want to bring into your life. The Music Half Marathon's just weeks away. We'll get a preview of one of the great musical acts. Plus, Money Matters has financial advice in terms of the inauguration and Food Lovers Catering in the kitchen.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
At SWC Properties, we pride ourselves in providing to you the very best in customer satisfaction, and the secret's getting out. Maybe that's why so many people have chosen to list their homes with our friendly and qualified agents. After all, it only makes sense to list with a growing agency that markets in so many places. To list your home with SWC, give us a call at our office and ask for Teresa Witt.
Go ahead. Make a fashion statement. Demand something more than just ordinary. Capture elegance in every turn and drive with flair. Where beautiful styling is standard. Stop in and take a test drive. I'll guarantee you'll never go back to plain vanilla again. The all-new 2017 Fiat 500 starting at $14,999. Only at Sunset Fiat in Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Whether a family member needs a little extra help around the house, assistance recovering from a hospital stay, or someone to check in on them throughout the week, Right at Home's in-home care is the answer. Your loved one deserves the right care, and now we need caregivers to help give the right care for the right reasons, the right way. At Right at Home, we're one of the only private home health agencies in this area with the opportunity to earn paid time off. If you're someone who loves helping people, take a look at our website and click on Jobs to join our team today.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
A deadly ice storm impacting a big part of the country. So far, 9 people have died. Millions more are under winter weather alerts. That winter storm that turned sidewalks into ice skating rinks meant walking in the salted streets in Chicago. People struggling to get around because of black ice. It was an ugly morning for pedestrians, for road crews, and business owners, all of them busy trying to stay ahead of Mother Nature.
They're all frozen. So the first thing I did is, we open at 8 o'clock, so start throwing some salt, for the protections of the customers.
It's all part of the same system that caked trees, power lines, homes and highways, and ice from Oklahoma to Missouri and Nebraska. In some parts of the country, the ice is up to an inch thick. Now, while in Texas, the National Weather Service is now on the ground checking on reports of tornadoes that possibly tore through the state there. Rough going for them, but we had a pretty nice day here on the Suncoast. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan joins us now with more. And ice storms are just so devastating because it gets on those trees, they fall, the power lines go down, and
They've got to be at least an inch, too, an inch in accumulation on the lines to cause them to actually to have them break off and snap the power lines and cause all sorts of headaches. I know I've been through several in Kansas City. We were without power for a couple of weeks during winter once. I remember that when I was in high school, and a devastating ice storm there. And it's still going on across parts of the upper Mississippi Valley. We'll show you that in a bit. A beautiful day here, though, as we look at what was happening out on the waters today. Randy Baker, who has lived through a few ice storms. In fact, I went to school with him at the University of Kansas. He was a meteorologist there. Now, he is the chief meteorologist for UPS and has been for over 2 decades. Randy Baker, their nice shot. He's visiting down here. Appreciate that. Flat, calm conditions right there. Lakewood Ranch webcam showing a lot of clouds around throughout the morning, and then we see the clearing skies, and temperatures managed to get into the mid to upper 70s for the most part, well above seasonal averages. And it looks like that trend continues now throughout much of this week. We are looking at some showers down to our south, very light sprinkles, if you will, moving up on a southeast wind, bringing some moisture in from the Atlantic right now. Not much going on here along the coast. Things are fairly quiet there. Currently, we have 77 degrees. Dew point is at 59, and winds are out of the east-southeast at 13. The pressure 30-21. And that, by the way, is still holding steady at this time. Some patchy fog, still a problem. Temperature is not a problem, though. Very warm, upper 50s to low 60s for overnight readings. And we're looking for lots of sunshine. Temperatures warming into the upper 70s to mid 70s across the region. The Gulf of Mexico water temperature now is 66 degrees. That's taken at the north end of that pier that you saw in that photo right there. 77 in Lake Placid, 77 in Sebring. Well, you mentioned the ice storm. It's over for Kansas City, although they had some significant problems there over the weekend. It has now moved through Omaha for the most part. They're getting rainfall into Kansas City, stretching over the northern sections of Missouri right now. But all the area in pink that you see, that's ice and ice accumulation occurring throughout northern Iowa into Wisconsin now, stretching all the way over to Michigan and Detroit, getting some of that freezing rain, and looks like a mixture of rain and snow there as well. And then to the south of that, we have a frontal system that is stretching all the way down into Texas. Now, this front isn't going to move on through here anytime soon, but this ice storm, though, causing significant problems, as I mentioned, across central portions of Wisconsin tonight, also northern Iowa, as well as in southern sections of Minnesota. These are all ice storm warnings basically throughout much of Michigan as well, heading off toward the north and east as that whole system kind of works its way off toward the northeast. Temperatures, you can guess, right around freezing where we have that ice problem all the way from Toronto through Minneapolis down to Denver right now. And temperatures not bitterly cold at this point, but still much warmer as you push to the south. Mid-70s, 71 now in Atlanta. It's 75 degrees in New Orleans. And as far as that overall flow goes, you can see the winds kind of rotating in this clockwise fashion. High pressure still anchored to the east of the states. That will slowly slip away, though, and move off to the east. We are expected to see an area of low pressure develop over the deep south. That'll happen, looks like, by Friday, and then eventually sweeps a cold front our way and brings us a real good chance for some showers and even a few thunderstorms. That happens on into Sunday and Monday of next week. Northeast winds 5 to 10 knots for boaters. Seas will be 2 feet, basically or less, with a light chop out there. The water temperature pretty warm, 66 degrees, and the beaches will see a high of 76. Low tide upcoming 9:47 for a low tide for Sarasota Bay, and sunset will be at 5:59, just around 6 o'clock. Partly cloudy, mild, some patchy fog tonight, 59 for your low. And then for tomorrow, look for the fog to burn off. It'll stay warm. Highs in the upper 70s. East winds turn to the south at 5 to 10. The extended forecast shapes up to be pretty warm. In fact, well above average all the way through Sunday. That front comes in on Sunday and brings us a chance for showers. Better chances for Sunday night and Monday. And we'll have to keep an eye on for the potential for some rough weather. Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you so much. In Suncoast Traffic Watch, no crashes in the area, but we are seeing traffic backed up on US 41 near downtown Sarasota. Just south of Fruitville Road, both north and southbound lanes very busy at this hour. In health news tonight, another alarming case of antibiotic resistance. Nevada public health officials reported in the CDC's Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report that a woman died in Reno in September from an incurable bacterial infection. Doctors tried every antibiotic available in the U.S. There's 26 in all, and none of them worked. Scientists are saying this case is another sign that researchers and governments need to take antibiotic resistance seriously. The authors of the report say hospitals need to ask incoming patients about foreign travel and also about whether they had recently been hospitalized elsewhere. This patient reportedly spent a lot of time in India, where superbugs are more common. Many breastfed infants may not be getting enough vitamin D. That's according to a Mayo Clinic study. Pediatricians recommended that mothers exclusively breastfeed infants until at least 6 months of age because it can reduce babies' risk of health complications. But breast milk typically does not contain enough vitamin D to help infants develop healthy bones. So, the American Academy of Pediatrics advises nursing mothers to give their babies vitamin D supplements and take them themselves. But according to the study, just 55% of women said they gave their babies vitamin D drops, and only 42% supplemented themselves with the recommended 400 IU. A study by Children's Hospital Colorado is showing how gastric bypass surgery may be helpful for some obese teens. Overall, at 5 to 12 years after the surgery, patients had about a 30% decrease in their body mass index. But almost 2/3 of the participants remained very obese and just one reached a normal weight. Although patients who had surgery sooner after becoming severely obese tended to get closer to a normal weight. The proportion of teens with diabetes dropped from 16% to only 2%, and the proportion with high blood pressure also fell from 47% to 16% after surgery. Coming up, the deaths of dozens of dolphins in South Florida, why scientists think they are beaching themselves there. Plus a huge gator sighting. Where in the Sunshine State this big gator was captured on camera. That story coming up.
If you want 24/7 access to ABC7's breaking news stories, weather forecasts, traffic alerts, health reports, Suncoast View, and more ABC7 programming, now there's good news. Introducing the free ABC7 channel on Amazon Fire TV. Your 24/7 access to ABC7. Just search ABC7 on the streaming device and download the free ABC7 channel app. Or if you don't have an Amazon Fire TV, you can get one at Amazon.com. The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Peace of mind is really crucial. The safety and security of this higher level of care, I think, is really important. Great nurses, great doctors, technologies that can really help when you are dealing with complications, high-risk newborns, or the infants that have medical conditions. This is the kind of care that we want at our public hospital.
Are you paying too much for your cable or satellite TV? The U.S. government passed a bill mandating free over-the-air digital transmission of all broadcast network television channels. That means with the new TV Freeway digital antenna, you can get free HD programming from your favorite broadcast networks 24/7 without a bill. You just plug it into the back of your TV and start watching all of your favorite broadcast programs for free. There are no contracts to sign, no hidden fees, and no monthly fees. Just free HD broadcast TV. Take it with you anywhere. Call or go online now to get your TV Freeway stick for the incredibly low price of only $14.99. But wait, call or click now and you can get a second TV Freeway stick for a second TV. Just pay a separate fee, but you have to order right now.
Call 1-800-809-5196 to get your TV Freeway. Call now or go to tvfreeway.com. So call 1-800-809-5196. This offer's not in any store. Call now.
So get the new year off to a great start with safety and peace of mind. Subaru offers more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And Subaru had the best resale value of all brands for 2016. Now you can lease a new Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Flooring Depot has been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties for over 20 years with the best products and installation. Flooring Depot offers carpet, tile, hardwood, and more. Before you buy, give us a try. Stop by our showroom or visit us on the web at bestvaluecarpet.com.
More than 80 false killer whales have died after stranding themselves near the Everglades National Park in South Florida. False killer whales are the 4th largest dolphin in the world, and this is the largest known mass stranding of this species. They get their name because they resemble orcas. The animals were first spotted over the weekend. Crews from several agencies tried to herd the dolphins back out to sea, but they instead scattered and spread out. There were a total of 95 in the area. 81 of them are dead. Vets had to euthanize 9 of them. Scientists don't know what caused the animals to beach themselves and are currently collecting samples. A 600-year-old Buddha statue was discovered in a reservoir in East China. Look at that. A local villager first spotted the head of the Buddha last month when the water level fell by more than 10 meters during renovation work. The statue has been sitting undisturbed for centuries underwater. Archaeologists say it dates back to China's Ming Dynasty. Remnants of the temple have also been found below the water line. Well, this cat may have lost one of its lives after all this. It was sledding with its owner. A man recorded the video of him speeding down a snowy hill with his feline pal. And the hurdling ride didn't seem to faze the cat, just holding on for dear life, clutching his owner's shoulder. Seems to like it, not sure. And how about this? Look at this huge gator, captured on video, walking across an open area of a reserve in Polk County. The woman who shot the video says it's not photoshopped and is by far the biggest gator she has ever seen at the reserve. The video was posted on Facebook. It's now been shared more than 7,000 times. You see that coming, you go the other way, that's for sure. So to come in your Suncoast News, the last week of the Obama administration, what the president-elect is now focusing on just days before the inauguration.
Attention blood clot filter patients. Surgically implanted blood clot filters are potentially life-threatening. Some filters are prone to breaking, resulting in pieces of the filter moving through the body and causing internal bleeding. If you had surgery to implant a blood clot filter, you may be entitled to a cash award, even if you haven't suffered side effects yet. Call the Gold Shield Group now, 888-747-5291, to see if you qualify for a cash award, 888-747-5291.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation, and everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts, and 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
As a combat veteran, I support Goodwill because they help our veterans reintegrate back into the civilian workforce, and they create jobs in our community.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Start the year off with a great deal during the Start Something New event going on now at Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep Ram, and Sarasota. Come shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers. Take home a new Jeep Cherokee for as little as $18,999. Or stop by today and drive away in a brand new Jeep Renegade for just $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep Ram, in Sarasota today.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.